We have just seen Lance Armstrong confess to using performance-enhancing drugs. Should we believe every word of it? Phil Houston would know. He's a former CI interrogator and a leading expert on lying.
He's also the co-author of Spy the Lie, A Guide to Spotting Deception. Good morning to you. Good to see you again, Phil.
Thanks for having me back. Yeah.
So you watched the interview last night. What were your impressions?
We did watch it. One of the things that I think that stood out the most is, despite Lance's no-holds-barred agreement with Oprah, his behaviors indicated he really didn't come clean on all the questions and all the issues that were posed to him by Oprah.
Where specifically?
Yeah.
There were several. For example, there were a couple of questions he refused to answer. The one on and posed him on Betsy Andreu, and then there were others where he was very evasive. For example, asking, "Why are you confessing? Why are you doing this?" And then when asked about details of the doping and so forth, he was very evasive. And then there were some questions where his behavior suggests that he's outright not telling the truth. For example, when he was asking the question about had he threatened Christian Vanderbilt.
Well, we'll take a clip on that. I thought Scott Pelley said it very well last hour when he said he told a lot. I mean, he didn't tell all, he told a lot. But we have a clip about the intimidation that you're talking about. Let's see the clip.
One of your former teammates, Christian Vanderbilt, told USADA that you threatened to kick him off the team if he didn't shape up and conform to the doping program.
That's not true. There was a level of expectation. Mm-hmm. We expected guys to be fit, to be strong, to perform, but I certainly didn't.
What do you see there?
There's a sizable cluster of deceptive behavior there, Gail. First of all, he begins with a laugh, what the behavioralists often refer to as duping delight. It sort of reflects an inappropriate level of concern for the question. And then we see that as part of a longer delay in which he clearly seems to be crafting, what's an acceptable or a palatable answer. And because it appears the facts aren't his ally on this particular question, he then has to come up with a convincing statement or two. It's funny, he punctuated that answer, it's not on the clip there, with also something we call truth in the lie. He made an interesting statement. He said, "I'm not terribly believable right now." And that probably is a true statement on that particular issue.
Can some people just be nervous, Phil?
Absolutely.
And so how do you tell the difference between, I'm a little nervous and I'm lying?
Right. We confine our analysis, Gail, to the response to the question, as opposed to any general nervous tension that a person might be experiencing.
So there's no voice analysis from what you do?
No, we're not looking at the tone of voice, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm really interested in the specifics of this interview, things that you saw. What about things that he did, his body language that spoke to you, that you can tell whether he's being deceptive or not?
Mm-hmm. A number of things, Nora. One in particular, he has a tendency to go to his face or his head region, and that's simply the old fight or flight response probably kicking in, where you're getting a rush of blood away from your head, and it's creating an itching sensation. You see him rubbing his upper lip, or he scratches his head and things of that nature.
Was there any question that you thought he should have been asked?
Yes, absolutely. I thought Oprah did a great job of holding his feet to the fire initially with her series of yes or no questions. One I would love to have seen, especially in a confession type of interview, is what else? What other things did you do? What other drugs or performance-enhancing drugs did you experiment with or utilize?
I thought he admitted to all of them.
Well, he admitted to all the ones that she asked about.
Oh, are there more?
Well, that's what we don't know. And so at the end of that series of questions,
it's kind of an open-ended question. Is there anything else you haven't told us, sir?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's in the book.
Phil.
That's in the book. Yes.
Well,
there's a part 2, Phil. So we'll see.
Yes, indeed.